My name is Umar Siddiqui,
And my name's Tommy Putrich.
and this is our final project for CS109 Spring 2018, analyzing CPS high school data. So one of the reasons we chose the CPS high school data is because, number one, I found this interesting. I just am interested to see some statistics about how CPS schools are performing. And because it's a very sizable set of data, if we go into it, there's a lot of information here, and I felt there was a lot of opportunity for analysis. Some of the information that is given, it gives a school ID, name of school, street address, obviously Chicago, Illinois, zip codes, phone number, websites, some small things like blue ribbon awards, some of the stuff that we actually analyze. It gives like how involved the family is, teacher response rate, supportive environment, lots of like quality of life things about the school in question, whether or not it's a healthy school, it's got a creative school certification, a bunch of reading statistics on the reading performances of the school.
And it also goes into some numerical data, which is useful in just showing objective success of the school in general, like graduation rates, ACT rates. Those are also the main things we really looked at. They just provide an overall analysis of success of the school.
Now we'll be moving on to our code. There we go. So we call our code just with the name of the file that we need to analyze, and you're greeted with a menu with 5 different options. The first will take, as you can see, it'll prompt you to enter a school name, so you need a single quote around the school name. This was just chosen at random, and once entered, you will be greeted with a series of bar graphs that will analyze and display those quality of life information that we previously discussed. How supportive the environment is, how ambitious the instructors are, how effective the leaders are, how collaborative the teachers are, and how safe the school environment is. A 0 represents a neutral level. -1 is weak. -2 is very weak. 1 is strong, and 2 is very strong.
Our next function analyzes the top 10 graduation rates, which schools have the highest graduation rates, and if you open it up, it sorts the data and just displays which high schools have the highest graduation rates. Our next program does a similar thing. It analyzes the top 10 ACT scores. So in reverse order, it'll just display which high schools have the highest.
This is number 10. This is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And our final section shows the most improved schools in 4 different categories: the 4-year graduation rates, 5-year graduation rates, college enrollment rates, and college persistence rates. So if we look at the data, we find that from these 8 columns, it's broken up into 2 years for each sort of section. So moving over here, we have the 4-year graduation rates for 2013 and the 4-year graduation rates for 2012. So the final section calculates the difference between the 2012 and 2013 values and outputs that as a graph. It also shows the name of which school earned the most improved in that category. So, for example, if we look at college enrollment rates for 2013 and 2012, the Wendell Phillips Academy High School had the biggest growth. Moving on to the code analysis. We have a top-level function to first call our individual function. We have individual functions for every single one of our sections, and this is also where we do most of our graphing. The only exception is with the individual schools, where the graphing is done in here. Moving on to the second.
So our code for the top 10 graduation rates and top 10 ACT averages are very similar. They just analyze their own individual columns, but they do around the same thing, just analyzing the top 10 schools by sorting the data and then taking the top 10 from there.
The last section shows the most improved schools. You can see the code right here. that's all. Thank you very much for listening.